once again for the renegade master. Back 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 once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades, and we are back to look at Love Island season 10 episode 8. Right, all I want to start off with is these people are really showing the characters of who they are and how they interact within any type of relationship, or even how they actually get started on a relationship, because these people will fuck each other over just over a kiss. That's all I'm saying. Now it still carries on from the denim party where Kath went and had that chat with Zach, and Zach said he was not regretting a goddamn thing in terms of what he did with Molly and how he went about it, and that he was not going to apologize. I thought as I said, he's a little fucker. He's got the gift of the gab. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he knows exactly what game he's playing. It's the same with Molly. As I said, she likes to act all innocent, sweet and light, but she did over Mitch royally, and that kind of tension carries on into the night, where you see Molly just spend majority of her time with Zach. Bearing in mind, she'd said to Mitch not long ago that she wanted to still continue to get to know Mitch. And bearing in mind, she was still coupled off with Mitch at that point in time, yeah. So Mitch was getting more and more pissed as the night was going on, because the girl did not talk to him and he didn't like that at all. So Jess being Jess, what she did is she was sitting there and she was literally telling Mitch that Molly is making a mug out of him and that he deserved better. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, he did. At that point, yeah, he did deserve better, because Molly was in her own little world. She's in her love nest, kissed up little world with Zach. So nobody was gonna literally make her be with any other person but with Zach. And I think Mitch saw that at the end of the day. I think Mitch knew that he was playing a losing game when it came to Molly with Zach. So what happens then is Jess says that she's gonna go talk to Molly and say it's not on, basically. So Mitch was saying, well, I don't want no part of that. So then he moved. So Jess goes over to the kitchen with Kath, and Molly's over there as well. And basically Jess just tells her as it is that, you know, you ain't even gone to talk to Mitch whatsoever. You've just been stuck to the side of Zach like a flipping barnacle to a boat, basically. So she then turns around and she goes, oh, thank you for saying that to me, and walks off to go and speak to Mitch. So as Molly then goes and speaks to Mitch, Mitch turns around to her and says, I don't want to speak to you right now. That girl looked nonplussed. She was like, oh, okay. He says, yeah, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to speak to you right now. So she had no choice but then to walk back to the kitchen to Jess and then tell Jess, well, he didn't want to talk to me. He won't talk to me. And she didn't get why he wouldn't talk to her, because she's thinking that it's because she is talking to someone else and he didn't want her to talk to someone else. It's got nothing to do with that in the slightest. It is how you went about telling people, rather than Mitch, telling people that you were not closed off and you were open to whatever. Bearing in mind, you was telling Mitch something else completely, and this is the same with Zach. He was loving up Kath in the bed and during some of the other episodes, even though he was like a flutter butter in Molly's ear. So both of them decided that they were going to be selfish together and they were going to do what they wanted, no matter whose toes they stepped on, and that's what they did. Now all it's doing is coming back to slap them both in their faces. And when I say in the faces, I mean on their faces with their eyeballs, and on their faces with their asses, because it's coming back to smack them in the ass. Anyway, so through all of that, then you have Ruchi upset and angry at Andre, because Andre basically said to her, because Kath was crying and Kath was upset and he was comforting her. So then you got Andre basically saying to Ruchi that he basically wants to get to know Kath. So Ruchi was thinking that Andre's just used her for this to stay in here because he just didn't have the option of Kath at that point. Now, everybody knows, if you've watched this show, that Andre was feeling Kat from when he first got with her. There was no messing about. There was no lies with that boy. He was feeling Kath from when he first got with her. So he was absolutely destroyed when Zach stole her. And you could see that on his face. He was absolutely destroyed and he didn't get over that. Ruchi was just a stopgap. She was just a place filler for Andre at the end of the day. Yes, he found her attractive. Yes, he probably, if he got to know her more, will more than likely have liked her, because I would have liked to have seen them two together, to be fair. But at the end of the day, his mind was stuck with Kat. That's where he was going to be. So he made it known to Kath that he was going to be there for her and that he really wanted to get to know her. And I thought, you know what, Andre? You strike while the iron's motherfucking hot on that one, innit? He struck while the iron was hot. My girl's crying her eyes out, bleeding heart all over him, and he's there saying that he still wants to get to know her. So she says the same thing, that she wants to get to know him. But with Kath, as I already said, I don't think she had the same type of feelings towards Andre that he had towards her at the end of the day, because Kath has a pattern. And when I talk about Kath's pattern, that it will more than likely come out in the other episodes, where you'll see that Kath has a bit of a pattern in the way in which she gets with people, treats people, then gets with people again. So then it goes to, like, I think Zach is chatting in the kitchen. I can't remember who he's chatting to, but Zach is chatting in the kitchen. And after the issue with Molly, Mitch is getting more and more irate with everything that's happened. So he was saying that he was basically done. So what happened from there is Zach then, you know, because they were boys, and he was doing his boy thing. So he went to go and sit down with Mitch and the rest of the lads, and Mitch point blank told him, don't sit over here. I don't want you to sit over here because you're a snake. Now, Zach kind of went off because he was like, he along with Molly don't understand why people are acting the way that they are, and felt that people were living in a different reality because everybody was going on stupid or going on dark. So all I know is that when it came to the public opinion, they felt so bad for Kath in the way that Zach treated her, especially how he went about making it known to Molly that he was interested or wanted to get her, especially when it came to that challenge and the kiss. They were calling for him to be removed from the island. That's how bad it was for Zach. They were calling for him to be removed from the island. And this is what I'm saying. In the court of public opinion, there ain't no motherfucking rules. If you fuck around, you are going to find out. And this is what these people will soon understand, either through the public votes that they have, or when it comes to announcing the winners, or when they get actually back out in the big wide world and people are having like press junkets and they're saying all this type of shit about you, you will definitely then get to know the heat of the public opinion. Okay. So my thing is as well is some of these people up in here are like really toxic as hell. Like, they really don't care how they hurt people as long as they get what they want. But then, as I said, that's the basis of Love Island. They say you're in there to search for love, to try and attach to someone that you think you could love or it could work on the outside. But they do not build an environment for that type of thing whatsoever. They really don't. And as I always keep saying, it's the freaking carrot dangling from the top with the £50,000. That's what people are vying for at the end of the day. So they're going to take their shot with a person that they know they may be able to make it to the end of the freaking show with. So as I said, you've got Molly still going off on one. Basically, she thinks her and Zach are more compatible than her and Mitch. But as I've said, that woman is going to fall from a great height, because Zach is not about loyalty at the end of the day. I don't see Zach having any loyalty to any woman up in that place, or any woman that he will meet through this process. She's still moaning, doesn't know why Mitch is so upset, because she's thinking, as again, it's due to the fact that he don't want her speaking to no one, and as again, that is not the case, and that's why I say these people are so fucking narrow-minded. Like, they have the bloody blinkers on, man. Absolute blinkers on, that they can't see past their own assholes in order to literally communicate properly with people. None of these people in here that I have seen, yes, some of them can be quite blunt and honest, but others don't really have good communication skills in the bloody slightest. They have no, some of them have no emotional awareness in the slightest. And some of them really can't be upfront and honest with people. They literally like going around the back door and then back around the front to make a freaking point that could have been made in 1 or 2 flipping words. So then you got Mitch and Molly who go off and have a conversation. This is after Mitch apologizes to Zach for literally calling him names, basically, because I know of a night time when they were in the boys' room getting ready to go to bed. And that's another thing, they still have to then share beds with the people that they're coupled up with, and they're not getting on well with these people whatsoever. So he did apologise to Zach for like calling him a dickhead and all this, that and the other, because he says it's out of character for him. And I'm like, I don't care what your character is. When you get mad over something and you say you are telling someone off or you're having an argument with someone, the first thing you're going to do to hurt them is bloody call them a name that they ain't going to like. That's just how it is. I'm not saying that it's acceptable, but that's just how it is. Anyway, so Mitch and Molly go for a chat, and Zach was hawking like a motherfucker. Like proper hawking them. And I'm like, what, do you feel like the shoe is on the other foot? Because Molly might not be true to you. Let them chat if they're going to chat, innit? And if she comes back to you, all good. So basically, he was just having a moan at her in regards to saying that, you know, you spent the whole night with Zach, and the fact that it should have been deserved of him for you to at least come over and have some type of conversation for him, because he was sitting there waiting for her all night. So basically, Mitch told her that it's kind of like you want to have your cake and eat it. Now, Molly was saying no, and she hates that saying, but let's put facts where facts are the truth. At the end of the day, Molly was trying to have her cake and eat it. She wanted to get to know Zach a lot more. She wanted to do other things with Zach. But then she also wanted to keep Mitch on side. She also wanted to get to know Mitch. She didn't want to drop that connection with Mitch. So you tell me if that is not the face of someone wanting to have their cake and eat it as well. Use a lot, let me know what you think. But that's how I'm seeing it. To a text. And as I say with the texts, you never know what's coming. So as we know, 2 new girls entered the chat, and it was Charlotte and Leah. And they picked the lads who they wanted, each of them, to cook them a starter, a main, and a dessert. So they picked Mitch, they picked Zach, and they picked Tyreek. I really don't know what Zach is putting in the food of these bloody people, you know, because it seems like every single woman that comes in that ratty place wants Zach. And I don't understand. I just don't understand the appeal. As I said before, it may be the way that he speaks. You know, he's got that little bit of je ne sais quoi. But yeah, nah. He's shown himself to be too much of a flaky character and a bit of a dickhead. So I would definitely be keeping away from him and be flipping wary too. So the things that made me laugh is when they were making this food for them, because once they made the course for them, they had to sit down and have these conversations with Charlotte and Leah and get to know them. And then you had like the others on the balcony of the terrace looking over and watching. You got freaking Ella looking like she wanted to fucking zoom down like fucking Superwoman from the freaking terrace and snatch up Ty and run away, because she was raw, just like, shut up, man, you're talking too much, man. Like the man could even hear her, to be fair. Everyone had to tell her to calm, but she was not calm in the slightest. So then from that, then you had the all-seeing eye looking out the terraces I can't remember what they're called, the slats of the terrace. And when I say the all-seeing eye, it was Molly. I've never known a person to literally sit on the chair, wherever it was she was sitting, and like where the plants are hanging down, all you saw was an eyeball. That girl was hawking Zach hard. Like her. She didn't really give a muff about Mitch and his date. But I know afterwards she was telling the girls that she felt rather jealous that Zach was involved in that challenge, or Zach was involved in having that date with these other girls that are coming in, because as again, she didn't trust what Zach was putting down, because at the end of the day, she would have seen how Zach treated Kath in that. And I would always say what goes around comes around tenfold at the end of the day. So yeah, it was uncomfortable viewing for Molly. Did I have any sympathy for her ass? No, I did not. But anyway, you let me know what you think in regards to how Molly was. But yeah, she was hawking a good, and that girl did not blink, and all you saw was one pissing eye through the trellis. That's the word, trellis. What did I say? Slats. I said slats, didn't I? Yeah, nah, I meant trellis. So all I can say is that there wasn't really much in order to add in terms of what I've said. But as I said, I like to open the conversation to all. So as I always say, please hit that subscribe button, because this is on the road to 1K. If I can get there, hit the notification so when you know that I am back, and we shall talk more. So I shall be signing out from here. See you again.